I'll be introducing to you the interconnectedness of account, which I spoke to earlier. And basically, what this does is to allow two Billboxx users exchange invoices seamlessly, right? And because we recall, most accounting tools out there, despite the fact that we both might be using QuickBooks, Books, or Xero, you have to create your record. I have to create my record essentially. So it means that if I send you an invoice, you typically, still has to create a copy of that, you know, under your own account as it were. But what we've done with Billboxx is to say, where a Billboxx user sends another Billboxx user an invoice, it automatically is created within the receiving party's Billboxx account as it were, right? And that creates some seamlessness around exchanging invoices, and I'll show you how that works. So, for instance, if I were to be looking to make payment, for instance, to a vendor that has an account with Billboxx, so all I need to do is, look up that vendors. Search the vendor up by email. So I'm going to add this vendor called Timulot, okay, right? Who, automatically, will be added to my account. Let's say I'm owning this vendor, say 750 naira, or I want to pay this vendor 750 naira, and that is due, today. Like I add a description, payment for vehicle service. I can add an invoice. A document. Should I want to attach a invoice document or whatever? So I'm just gonna take some invoice I have on my system, and once that is created, I request approval. Right, so where maybe we have an approval hierarchy that can be done. You can look at that invoice, see what it looks like. I'm paying 750 naira, and then of course approval can be given. There's a little note to consent to the approval of this. And once the approval is given, so I have the account set up right here, which is Timulot, okay, right? So you could see seamlessly this account should have received and under ISO, they won't get paid, should have received a notification for the fact that Quantum Bridge is looking to pay 750, right? And exactly what I created appears right here. And then of course I could always then go back to the paying party to say, now I want to make payment. And there are several ways. Action, you could make payment right from here, or you could just toggle this and it takes you to the payment page to say how would you like to pay Timulot, okay? So there are several options that you pay now, you pay later, or pay small, which is something that will be coming later. And then of course, if I had to pay now, I can then pay either using the credit card or off my banking, embedded banking balance, or through a bank transfer. And the bank transfer, I'll pay it using the Billboxx balance, which is off the embedded banking. But if we were to be doing a transfer, I'll show transfers in the next option. But basically, I'm going to pay off my balance. So I have a balance of 2,423 naira. Once I toggle that, you ask me, I could say payment for service or vehicle service. And of course, I can pay full or partial. If I'm making full payment and then it's saying this is how much I'll be charged in my bank balance, I can say yes, go ahead, and then I put in my PIN to make that payment. And once everything checks, it loads, and payment is successful. Now, of course, this payment would have moved to fully paid, and my bank balance would have been debited accordingly, right? Which if you come here, you see 750 and then the bank charges. And if I were to go to the receiving party's account, they should have gotten payment for this invoice. So I just refresh, and they likely should have gotten payment for this invoice to the tune of 750 naira, basically, right? And that's actually is how to pay for invoices. Between two Billboxx account. Thank you. I'll show you getting paid on the other bit.